Hey everyone, welcome to Beyond All Cloud series. Today we will be discussing chapter 7, that is define your values and culture upfront. So Amit, let's start from the beginning. We have the idea, we have the team, we have talked to a lot of skeptics and critics all around. So since we have a very good kick-ass team, how do we get them to work together in a way that everybody's productivity increases, and that's like it sort of creates the win-win situation even inside Awake, as we are also proposing it for co-sellers and outside for everybody. The same funder, the same theory applies in within the organization as well.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to understand the power of, say, for example, a fission reaction versus a fusion reaction, right? A fission reaction created the bomb that was dropped on some places, and obviously huge amounts of energy are released when you create a fission reaction.
Yeah.
But they say that the hydrogen bomb is probably 10,000 times or 100,000 times more powerful.
Yeah.
Because it does not fragment into parts, but it fuses things together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the energy that comes from people coming together and creating together something is very different when it is a bunch of people that are being split into different teams or whatever you call it, and are being tasked to do their own thing, or companies that do their own thing, or organizations. So fundamentally, our approach has been to leverage togetherness and to co-create value. When teams are or people are interdependent on each other, rather than just independent. Independence is a virtue, but interdependence is a greater virtue. This was one of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, if you remember that book. I don't know if you ever came across that very old book by Stephen R. Covey. He wrote about this. One of his 7 pithy strategies was this: interdependence is more virtuous than independence, because it makes you not just care for yourself, which is where you are with independence, but it essentially brings the whole thing into your purview, right? Everyone is now interdependent and interconnected to everyone else, and therefore, to optimize their own, they really need to optimize for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? So if we make it a situation like that, where automatically that is the case, where when you work for anybody or yourself, you're really working for everybody, because that's how the structure is, that's how the organization is, that's how you decided to organize. So I think that's
how you defined your culture, or that's how you defined your values upfront, that this is how it's going to work for everybody within the organization or even outside the organization. And I think that that's where we are all getting the notion of co-creation or value co-creation as well, that everybody involved within the organization is driving or is driven by this co-creation or co-entrepreneurial nature of how things are.
Yeah, so that we defined it up front in the sense that we wanted to optimize the whole thing, right? We need to, like, how do we make the internet a better place, or how do we create a better world, or whatever it is, right, that we think we want to do here, which to me, we want to create a better society. We want to create a better experience for people on a day-to-day basis, where you're not feeling like you're us versus them. You're not always competing for resources. And it really is a more, I should say, really the social driven. I mean, society has the word social in it, but that doesn't seem to be how it's truly organized in a lot of situations. And
Yeah,
so can we create something that um, makes it so that people, when they want to make the maximum out of it, the best way to do that is to make the maximum out for everybody, you know?
exactly. Yeah.
And so that becomes an intelligence function, right?
Hmm.
If it is one system and one internet, then shouldn't that be the default design?
Yeah.
Right? So in which case, it's really not a unique or a new type of culture. It's
Hmm.
really the good old basic, uh, default culture that should be there and isn't
Hmm.
because of other reasons, which, we don't have to um, adhere to or to consider
Yeah.
them valid anymore.
Hmm.
So we go back to the original design of people, society, organized civilization, and so on. You know,
Amazing. Thanks, Amit. Thanks so much. I think this is true, or this will be useful for all the entrepreneurs or anybody out there who's working for themselves or working for any organization, because this is something that really drives people and help like optimize not only for themselves but for everybody else. And thanks so much for bringing it to life and having us and the world as well along with us watch it turn to reality in like real time.
thank you. Yes.
Thanks.